Good Monday to you guys. I am Ryan, Michigan Storm Chasers, back again for a YouTube update video. We have some stuff to talk about, but overall, the pattern is becoming a little quieter for the short term. But we have some exceptions of lake effect snow and also watching some systems in the long term. I want to also cover the cold that's incoming this week and also some potential for some snow again in the long term. So we track this system that's moving off to our south here through Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. We've been tracking that system for almost 2, 3 weeks now in terms of the overall active pattern in the area. But when push came to shove, this area of high pressure over here in the northern plains forced this system to stay south. If that high pressure wasn't there, this could very well have slammed into Michigan like a typical Colorado low would, but because that high pressure existed, it forced the system off to our south and gave snow to our friends in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and also surrounding states. So, when is our next chance of snow and how is the long term looking? Let's go ahead and dive into the full forecast package today. Let's start with the near term HRRR model here. Back this up here and also flip it over to our composite reflectivity type. Go ahead and take myself off the screen. Go ahead and get this full screen for you guys. Here we go. Here is the short term model. I got to back it up one actually. Actually, it's backed up. Cool. Short-term model. We're going to see an increase of lake effect snow bands into the morning tomorrow. By Tuesday morning, we're going to see some lighter lake effect snow bands develop up here by Marquette, all the way down here toward Traverse City. And again, in the far extreme corner of West Lower Michigan. These will ramp up Tuesday afternoon. And by Tuesday night, they're in full swing, increasing in size and intensity, and also continuing into your Wednesday morning where the model cuts off. So snow begins tomorrow morning in the lake effect belts. In terms of accumulation, you guys probably already seen it when I popped on the model here, but I'll go ahead and pull it up again. In terms of amounts expected, we are seeing on the model, not a forecast, this is just a model depiction, corridors of some heavier accumulation. Traverse City could see upwards of 8 inches again. We could see a couple swaths of 4 to 8 up here in the UP, but overall general consensus in these blue grayish areas, 2 to 4 inches really for a wide area of lake effect. And that's still snowing as well when this model cuts off. So definitely could get higher amounts than shown. And also notice up here in the thumb gets down some action as well. Huron County, Sanilac County, and also the extreme corner of Western Michigan. The reason that this is looking a little different is because this is more so oriented north to south in terms of our wind direction versus our typical northwest to southeast. So the lake effect bands are going to be positioned more so north to south, which is why you're seeing a very tight cutoff here in West Michigan because the winds are not oriented westerly this time. They're more so north to south. So we'll have a forecast out for you guys in terms of lake effect snow Tuesday into Wednesday, perhaps beyond as well. It shouldn't be too major considering the past lake effect events that we've had, but still impactful for those that will see snow. Could add a few more inches, perhaps several inches in some spots, especially up in the UP and northwestern lower Michigan. Going into the long term, the European model in terms of our cool, cold temperatures, we are seeing still the Arctic pattern that we're in currently will continue. If you notice here, I'm going to go ahead and take a full screen again, kind of zoom in for you guys to get an idea. Based out of Lansing, this graph is your temperatures. Top temperature in yellow is your highs, and the blue is in your low temperatures. Starting on Monday on the left side of your screen, all the way over to January 18th, 19th. How far over does this go? 20th. There we go. Notice here, we're in the 20s for the foreseeable future. 20 low mid 20s here next couple of days. We're seeing a rise 28, 29, 26 there in the middle there. That's going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So a little bit of a, should I say, warm up potentially for the weekend. And then we drop right back down into perhaps the teens. Notice here as well, we have one night in particular we're watching for a low temperature close to zero, perhaps single digits for a lot of us here in Michigan. Wind chills likely below zero during this time frame, off and on, not consistent, but as winds pick up and die down, we could see wind chills close to, if not below zero, for the next several days. Looking at the long-term pattern, though, we just missed this past system to the south. That could have been us. We could have got, 4 to 8 plus inches of snow. Some models do indicate chance of snow for this weekend. overall consensus on that is kind of dying off with the latest model runs. Go ahead and dive into this. So European model showing us some systems moving in through the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and track it through. Here's your system currently in the Ohio Valley region. It's just missing us to the south. As we move toward January 11th, we're going to notice a couple things here. Number one, a system develops down to our south and west here that will track up towards Michigan. We're seeing a good response here of moisture, so lots of rain there, perhaps some icing in the Ozark area. But tracking this up into the Midwest and Great Lakes region, it kind of loses its steam. But do notice it does still give Michigan some lighter snow. We'll track this. It wouldn't be anything heavy according to the model at this point, but we still could get some snow showers out of it. That's Friday night, here Saturday morning. That continues to move across the Midwest Ohio Valley into the Northeast. And then we kind of clear out. Could get a lake effect response behind that. I doubt it at this point. But then attention turns to another synoptic system, a clipper system that's moving through here that could dump a few inches of snow as well into the early part of next week. That comes through, dumps some snow there for us here in Michigan. Nothing, again, major is being shown by the models. Maybe mainly lighter snow. But the overall idea here, we're going to have two chances in the near to midterm of some lighter snowfall here. But overall, big systems that are going to dump a foot of snow for us, I don't see that happening in the next 7 to 10 days. That could change. But for right now, I think we need to track these two systems here centered around next weekend and to start our week next week. Overall consensus overall consensus is it should not be a big deal. We'll track it and monitor it and update you guys as necessary. Close the video off in terms of a few things here. How is the rest of January looking? Well, I think it's going to go pretty much as predicted here. We are tracking these below average temperatures. Anything in green or blue is below average. Anything in the yellowish, orange, red color is above. So we're seeing a wide area across America in below average temperatures. Only over here on the West Coast right now is above average. This is current. Let's go ahead and go into the future here. Let's go to the end of January. We're seeing perhaps a brief shot of some warmer air for the northern Midwest. Overall, shouldn't dominate. It should just be a day or two of some perhaps above average temperatures. And then as we get closer to the end of January, here comes our cold temperatures back into the forecast. So continuing that into February, if we just go ahead and run the model all the way to the end, probably mid-February, we're going to see all that blue goes away, but still we're near average into the first week of February. And then we're just kind of staying around that below average to close to near normal temperatures here in the Great Lakes region. And this model ends February 20th. So next month or so, according to the European extended, we are seeing that sign of still winter is here to stay in terms of temperatures. But what about our systems? We want snow. It's Michigan. It's going to snow eventually. At least you would assume. Looking at the upper air pattern here, we call them upper air heights charts. We're seeing the blues indicating the active pattern, and then the yellows are now indicating a below average pattern. So we see our system here moving off into the Ohio Valley. That's our system currently right here. And that's obviously shown up in blue. So very active there, very active pattern. Moving this toward January 11th, here's our system that we're tracking for perhaps lighter snow, keeps us active, but look into long term as well. We're seeing a response here of another active pattern developing right around January 18th to the 21st, around that time frame. Here it goes right here. We're seeing the entire U.S. and the northern half there in the active jet stream pattern. We kind of displaying that jet stream for a while. That looks to continue here. Will Michigan get snow out of this pattern? I mean, it's anyone's guess at this point, but the pattern does remain active and favorable for snow here in Michigan. It's just we got to line this up perfectly to get a system to hit us. If that system yesterday shifted 100 miles north, it could have been a whole different story for southern Michigan, but it just didn't because of that high pressure over the plains. But overall, we're going to be staying active. We're going to be in a break this week, minus lake effect snow. But as we get in the second half of January and especially into February, I think we're going to ramp back up in terms of our synoptic snowfall chances. Cold and snowy is the pattern. Let's cross our fingers and hope we can get some of this here in Michigan because we need a good snow. I'm in the southeast corner of the state. I want snow just as much as you guys do. I hope it's coming. So let's just pay attention. It's going to be cold. The pattern is active. The pattern is favorable for it. Let's just line it up and get something going here. With that being said, I will catch you guys later. We'll do an update video tomorrow on our lake effect snow. Stay tuned to our Facebook page as well. We'll have a full forecast out for you guys later today. Stay safe, travel safe, I'll see you guys tomorrow.